Good morning, Wrestling Inc. Get up, get going. Happy Monday or happy Wednesday. Oh my God, time is a flat circle. Where's my head at today? It's me, your managing editor of WrestlingInc.com, Nick Hausman, joined here as I am every Wednesday for a little hump day pro wrestling punditry. It's Brian Wohl, B-Wo. Welcome back to the Wrestling Inc. Daily.
Good morning, Nick. What a great day to talk about some wrestling.
Yeah, there is a lot of big news here that we got to get to here for the past 24 hours. A lot of people I see already joining the chat here today. If you want to be a part of the show, jump on into the comment section here. We have people like Sean Chapladane, who wrote, anyone know if I could buy the AEW pay-per-view this Sunday in the USA on Fight? Because it says not available in my territory. Well, Sean, you know what? I didn't even really read your comment, but guess what? I have an answer for you. No, it is not on Fight. It is only available internationally on Fight. But they put out a press release this morning that you're going to be able to stream All Out on the BNR app or Bleacher Report app or website or whatever. BNR. Go to BNR. You're going to be able to find All Out this Sunday. That's how you can watch it. So look at that. Engage the chat room already, Brian.
Oh, I'm excited. I actually am about to pre-purchase my my viewing of All Out on the new Bleacher Report app. I wanted to do it in advance because I'm nervous about like fumbling with it when I got people over.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy. You want to have it ready. You want to have the pizza ready, your pop sodas, right? Your little streamers. You want all that stuff set for your All Out party, B-Wo.
Oh, 100%.
Anyway, welcome.
Pop streamers.
Come on. By the way, Dave in here saying someone gave this a thumbs down already. LOL. Hey, you know what? That's fine. Let your voice be heard. Thumbs up, thumbs down, emojis. All of that stuff contributes. It helps us get engagement. So engage the show. Before we get to everything we got going today on the show, there's two items I just kind of want to address up top because they're little fatter items here. The first one is regarding Rush, the top ROH star, Rush of Le Fashion Ingobernable, underwent surgery in Mexico on Tuesday. His condition is said to be serious. The operation was described locally in Mexico City, Mexico, as emergency surgery. His family scheduled to hold a press conference to address the surgery and his future. ROH then announced that Rush suffered a knee injury during the tag team bout on night 2. It was noted as of last week that the exact nature of the injury was unknown and Rush's recovery time was to be determined. So, absolutely want to send our best out to Rush, hoping nothing but the best. What an incredible performer. Recently was the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Such a sad turn of events here for Rush.
Yeah, hopefully he can get through this. But it just shows, any type of injury in wrestling could be career-threatening. Yeah. Whether it's a knee or Dash Wilder's arm right now, we're looking at a lot of people whose careers could be ended. So hopefully they can at least have fulfilling lives. Yeah. This is terrifying stuff.
Yeah, so we'll have more hopefully on Rush by the end of the week for you all to let you know how Rush is doing. But also we want to send our thoughts and condolences to the family and friends of 16-year-old Jadea Tofaneno, who was the niece of WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi. He took to Twitter yesterday to seek help after his 16-year-old niece was murdered in San Francisco's Bayview neighborhood. He shared the crime bulletin. You can go find it on social media from the San Francisco Police Department detailing the events that transpired on Friday, July 30th, when his niece was killed in a shooting. The bulletin noted that the shooting also led to the wounding of an adult female. The San Francisco Police Department has authorized a $50,000 reward for information leading to the identification, arrest, and conviction of the suspects responsible for the murder. That is awful. And obviously, if for whatever reason you have any information that can help Rikishi's family here cope with this, it would be appreciated. Again, all of the information is available over on Rikishi's social media feed. What a horrible tragedy, B-Wo, for that family. I can't not even imagine what they are going through right now.
No, thoughts with
oh my God,
Rikishi's family.
Oh my God. All right. Well, all of that out of the way up top here. We have some other news that we're going to get to. Also, after the news of the day, if you're listening to us in audio form, you're going to get the full audio from Samoa Joe's WWE tryout camp from Las Vegas Media Scrum. Joe took some time to chat with me. This was the day before BWO talked to a whole bunch of other superstars, and we have their audio in the tank for future shows. But Joe, this was 2 days before his NXT title match. I addressed the changing nature of some of the talent that they're bringing into NXT. So it's a great 20-minute or so conversation with Joe, me, and some other media members. So that'll be after the news. If you're in audio form and video form, it's already available over on Wrestling Inc.'s YouTube channel. And at the end of the show, for everybody, we are going to dive into the mailbag, and we are going to look at Adam Cole potentially signing with AEW. All right, let's get to it. News you can use, news that'll leave a bruise. PWInsider.com reporting that Monday was described as one of the, quote, longest, unquote, days in a long time for the WWE creative team, according to multiple sources. Vince McMahon was extremely unhappy with the original plans for Raw. He, quote, ripped up the script, unquote, several times during the day, including the original plans and then the initial rewrite. He then began requesting new creative ideas, some of which were said to be good, others not so good, as is the nature of pitches. Vince still rejected everything pitched to him before decreeing the new plans that ended up airing on the USA Network broadcast. McMahon was said to be, quote, unquote, the loudest and angriest one source had ever seen him on a show day. It was noted that there was no official direction or plan for Monday night's Raw episode until 6 p.m. Eastern. That is 2 hours to showtime. That is a mess. What's your take on this report here, BWO?
I mean, that's terrible. I mean, I tweeted last week about how excited I was that they announced so much of the card for Raw in advance, and how thrilling it was to have an entire week to think about what matches would be going on. And we've seen Raw get, destroyed week after week, with McMahon right before the show is about to air, and here it happens again. It really feels like he doesn't care about the show, and it's just whatever whim he's just following whatever whim he wants to right now, and it's embarrassing. Yeah. It's embarrassing to be a viewer of Monday Night Raw.
And what a demeaning environment to be in, BWO, right? Just creatively as you're trying to help this show. I mean, I know that this isn't like a cabal of people in a conspiracy to deliver bad wrestling content. Like, there are well-intended, very qualified people backstage that I'm sure have great ideas that would love to deliver a product that is more in tune with what the audience is wanting. And to filter that all through the 70-plus-year-old man who I think admittedly, from what I've heard from other people around Vince in, recent times, seems to understand that he's like losing a little bit of touch for what the audience wants here. This to me, and again, I do a lot of tinfoil hat talking here. I maybe read too much into the leaves, but this to me seems like the pressure of the situation of a Punk, of a Brian, of a Tony Khan, of somebody like Adam Cole, who would maybe have the audacity to walk away from him. The losing the grip on power, feeling that momentum going away from you, it seems that the pressure may be getting to Vince. And that is really a big thing to say, considering how much pressure has been put on Vince in the past. And like many are saying here, I guess, according to these multiple sources, this drove him to be the loudest and angriest anyone had ever seen him on a show day, BWO. So, BWO, you there? You froze up on us. I don't know if I can see you right now or hear you. BWO, you want to disconnect, come back in? I'm going to kick BWO. BWO? BWO? Going once, going twice. He'll be back. Anyway, let's bring out some comments here since we seem to have lost BWO due to technical errors. So I'll go back. We'll start here with Pollo Del Mar, our great co-host who will be joining me tomorrow, Paul Pratt. That broadcast was, quote, shit show, end quote. I don't know why you used money signs, but this brings up a great point. Oh, BWO's back. BWO, you there? Hey, yes. Can you hear us? Okay,
right.
Wonderful.
You there?
Yeah.
100% agree with you. The pressure is getting to McMahon, and this is it's chaos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely seems like the pressure is getting to Vince right now. And again, like having been under high pressure situations, to hear him be this loud and angry, really a tell. But anyway, like I was saying, some fan feedback here. Polio Del Mar, great co-host, coming back tomorrow. Broadcast was a shit show, end quote. I don't know why she used money signs, but it is what it is. And it was like a magic eye on Raw because Sal Capaferi saying, which is strange because Raw was actually pretty good. Like I have heard both sides of it. I watched Raw, and I thought it was very middle of the road. I thought it was not good. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was Raw. I thought it was there. I'm glad I watched it on Monday mornings. I can kind of fast forward through parts that I know what's going to happen or what is going on. I will say that the Charlotte Nia Jax stuff, I knew about it. I knew about it, and I went out of my way to watch every second of that match, knowing what was coming. And, yesterday on the show, we were talking about that particular confrontation. A lot of people think something went awry there. I seemed pretty skeptical about it. I think for a lot of reasons, you could go out there and do something like that in this moment, and it would in some ways be good for you. And yesterday I was talking to Sean Waltman for Pro Wrestling for Life, available now, cheap plug. And I asked him about that particular segment, and he thought the same thing. He's like, dude, that was a total work. He thought it was all for show, flat back bumps, little stiffness, little weird wrestling. Nobody got bruised. Nobody bled. They got to a point where it was weird, but it didn't, in his opinion, cross a line, right? And that whole thing was just to create some attention. But if that's and look, I agree with Sean. First of all, love you, Sean. But if that's the case, if this is what you're having to do to create buzz, it is weird to me because these are little momentary things to create attention. And granted, it will hopefully play out into a better longer-term story. But the lack of really big, motivating, long-term stories to sink your teeth into, and I hate to say this because Roman's been on fire, but the swerve of having Balor there on Friday instead of Brock really threw off that trajectory, that storyline for me too right now. I don't think it is neither great nor terribly bad. It is just WWE at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It feels like the only things that are successful in WWE over the last several years are things that are successful in spite of plans laid ahead. It just, I don't know, man. If those two were working, because it's weird. You see these stiff shots. You see some really hard punches. You see Nia dropping Charlotte in ways that could separate a shoulder and cause some serious injury. So if they are working, gosh, they're working pretty risky for a TV match. But I don't know. I don't know. If it was in Japan, everyone would be like, wow, that was awesome.
And you know what? And that's interesting because Sean made the same point. Sean was like, if you'd have seen two dudes or, go in there and do the same thing, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It's a perfect storm of them being women. It's having Nia involved. JJ Smith saying feels like late WCW type stuff. I agree with that. I understand Deadpool Party here saying it's all fake. They made it look real. Did it look real? Like, yes and no. I mean, as I was watching it, I thought to myself, they're working together too much in between the angry, weird stuff, right? It was like it would happen, and then they'd go back to working, and then they would go back. So, we'll find out in time what happened here with Nia and Charlotte, but I lean with my good buddy Sean X-Pac Waltman, two-time Hall of Famer, and saying that looked to me like two women that went out there last second, said, how do we make this work? Put some heat on this program with no story, no build. Nia, look what happened when you busted Becky's face open. Everybody got behind Becky, right? Why don't we go out there and do something that looks like you're trying to hurt me as a way to build interest in us working together? That makes all the sense in the world to me, B-Wo.
Oh, 100%. Did you see that Bully Ray thinks that it was a shoot?
He thinks it was a shoot.
Yeah, he said on Busted Open that he thought it was a shoot, and he like broke it down. He said that like Nia had daggers in her eyes immediately. And he said if it was a work, they got him, and he believed that it was a shoot and that they were trying to like work through their problems. He thought that it might be because Nia was a little rough with Rhea, and they
Okay.
had some time between the Rhea match or the Rhea segment and then the Charlotte match, and that like Charlotte was trying to stand up for Rhea. I mean, it was a whole whole narrative that was put in there, man. It was wild.
There were two things that happened in that Nia or in that Rhea Ripley, Nikki Ash, whatever early. Nia dropping Nikki Ash with that Samoa drop on the outside and doing nothing to slow down that fall was brutal. And then, yeah, the clothesline to Rhea, where Rhea went throat first across the top rope, which is how, unfortunately, people have passed away in the wrestling business. No good. Also very bad. So that was building up to the stuff with Charlotte. I'm sure Sean's comments today are going to get picked up and it's going to go back and forth. But, this is, why it worked, right? So, look, Samantha here saying, we're still talking about this match. So they did their job. And I think a lot of people would say that. But anyway, bringing this back to the starting point here, which is a loud and angry Vince McMahon backstage, ripping up scripts, shooting down pitches to him. You are left with people who have no real idea of what to do. So now they're taking maybe more dangerous risks to try to get something going for themselves. It's just a mess. It sounds like a total mess. And the idea that AEW is not affecting WWE is like crazy at this point. Like, they have obviously gotten under Vince's skin. I can't look at this any other way, BWO. I just can't.
Yeah, it seems pretty clear who's hot right now, and it's not WWE. And I hopefully Vince can cool down, because there are some really talented people there. Some of the most talented people are there. And gosh, if you let them do their thing, I have a feeling they'll be successful.
Well, Pollo Del Mar here jumping in and saying, I do believe it was a shoot. I also felt like Nia's makeup artist went shoot because her face was not on point. FYI, Nia is gorgeous, but I wondered if she was messy backstage and even makeup was like, deuces. Oh, man, that is wild.
I don't know. There were a lot of shots to the face with Charlotte there. So Charlotte definitely messed up whatever makeup job was done.
By the way, I didn't know this. JJ Smith here saying today was the 3-year anniversary of All In. And here it is. I was there, everybody. This is my All In media credential. I'm showing it on camera right now. Isn't that crazy? It's my favorite thing. What a great piece of memorabilia here. I can't sell it. It's not available for resale. It stays with me forever, like a Horcrux. Okay. So moving on here past loud, angry Vince McMahon, which, by the way, like, the fact that he's become what the parody account of Angry Vince was is really... Remember Angry Vince McMahon? Is that still an account? I loved that.
I loved that account.
I loved Angry Vince.
Where's my steak wrap?
Well, a couple people have become fully free of WWE. Of course, there were some releases here recently, and several of those former WWE superstars are becoming free agents as their 90-day non-compete clause expire after yesterday. Or today, I believe. So, or it was yesterday, I think. I forget exactly when I picked this. Anyway, Buddy Murphy, Braun Strowman, Lana, Ruby Riott, Santana Garrett, all released on June 2nd. Ruby Soho released her third teaser vignette late on Monday and is rumored to be signing with AEW. Props to Giancarlo. Those Ruby Riott vignettes slap, dude. She looks like $1 million. I cannot wait to see where she lands.
She's going to change the entire makeup of whatever show she lands on, and the women's division will get featured quite a bit more.
Yeah. There's also no word on Lana's pro wrestling future, but she will be appearing on VH1's Surreal Life beginning September 27th under her real name, CJ Perry. She recently announced her first post-WWE signings on Instagram, and it would seem like a logical layup to have her by Miro's side at All Out as he takes on Eddie Kingston. But with this whole, like, God's favorite champion thing and just this kind of disconnected monster gimmick that Miro's, by the way, doing very, very well. I don't know that he really needs her. And if she wants to do her own thing right now and get away from wrestling for a little bit, I would absolutely not blame her.
I'm interested to see how this all goes because her castmates will be Dennis Rodman, Frankie Muniz.
I know.
Manny MUA, Kim Coles from Living Single. Loved Living Single. I don't know, man. I wonder where CJ slots into this and what her personality will be, and if this is a good thing.
Yeah. We have JJ Smith here saying Casino Battle Royal Joker in regards to Ruby Soho and Deadpool Party. Ruby Soho going to win that Casino Battle Royal. It'd be a great way to bring her in, quickly kind of insert her in there. I don't know what happens with Britt and Chris Statlander. I have a feeling Britt's going to roll through Statlander, unfortunately, but setting up Ruby Soho as kind of the next big competition to Britt Baker. And is Britt she's a baby face now, right?
It seems like she is. So I don't understand. And Ruby Soho, I assume she's going to be entering to the song Ruby Soho. So I feel like the entire crowd is going to be singing along like it's Jericho's entrance. So I don't know. I feel like Ruby's going to be a babyface.
Okay. I would imagine Ruby's going to be a babyface too. I have no idea how they would make her heel right now, but it is weird to me. Like Britt Baker, so over like you have Chris Statlander and we're talking about Ruby Soho. These are more baby faces you're feeding to arguably the most over woman in the company. It's just a little odd to me. There's not like a female heel in I guess Jade Cargill, but for
Nyla Rose?
Nyla, but not like a dominant kind of heel over on the women's side in AEW. Food for thought. Also, Santana Garrett, she posted a coming soon post to Instagram last week. She teased she was going to be making moves in another post on Monday, so that could mean literally anything, right? But she's a great talent. I could see her fitting well at AEW.
Yeah, I mean, Santana Garrett can work.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, we have Braun Strowman, who, of course, apparently uses the name Titan now. I mean, he's been teasing that. He teased earlier this week. He also said that he has some sort of announcement to make at noon today. I'm wondering if he's made it already. Let's go to his Twitter account here.
Oh, man.
Braun Strowman Twitter. No, he's Adam Scher now, right? Adam Scher 99.
Yeah. I really hope that this Titan character just wears Zubaz and endorses Ica Pro.
Okay. All right. Here we go. So pre-order now the narrative. Oh, okay. He is going to be working with EC3 here.
Oh, wow.
He also announced he's on Cameo. That seems to be a big thing. Here, let me see if I can't screen share this. We can all watch whatever Ethan Carter here, EC3 he's got some kind of video here that he released with Braun Strowman or Adam Scher. All right, here we go. Make it large. Let me know if you can hear this, Biwo. Can you hear that?
Oh yeah, it's coming in clear.
Okay. Okay. All right. Dope. Here, wait, we gotta stop this. Dope. Man, the trend of high end videos for post WWE careers continue here. So this was the big reveal for Braun Strowman. He's working with the EC3 on Free the Narrative. What are your thoughts?
Man, if Vader could make his own videos back in 1996, this would have totally changed his entire reception. Being able to make your own vignettes before you go to a company is amazing. This makes him look cool.
Yeah. And like you could hear the a parcel tongue speak in the background there, right?
I think they were reversing the audio. So if somebody could get that and then play it backwards, we'll hear it. It'll say like Braun Strowman's dead or something like that.
Sure. Well, if you can, if you're motivated and in space to do that, to take that video, flip it, you can let us know here in the comment section what that says. I'm interested, but it definitely seemed like a Bray Wyatt type tease. Man,
sure. Wouldn't that be cool?
I don't know. I mean, Bray's still got a little while, I think, before he's out of his non-compete, but kind of sets the tone. And interesting to me that Ethan, the fact that there's so much wrestling right now that there's not really a spot. Well, WWE said no spot for you right now, Braun. AEW is we don't know what AEW thinks of Braun Strowman. We're talking about Braun possibly going to Impact. That's another thing. But the fact that EC3 was able to get a Braun to work with him on his wrestling company, dude, just tells you how much talent in wrestling there is right now, that guys like that can be doing these kind of indie projects. Pretty wild, man.
Yeah. So Fightful Select, Sean Ross Sapp with Fightful Select is reporting that it is now official that Braun Strowman, Adam Scherr Titan, will wrestle EC3 in Free the Narrative 2, The Monster in Us All, an entirely independent cinematic wrestling series.
All right, then. Okay.
Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful Select is the report on that. Wow.
Well, all right. Well, Braun has landed in Free the Narrative. And, this is EC3, the whole control your narrative, free the narrative. That's the kind of thing. I don't know how a Bray Wyatt plays in kind of a gritty grindhouse environment with an EC3. But, Bray's got some money. Braun's got some money. They can do things here. The idea of a couple of these talents banding together and not going anywhere and kind of starting their own thing. What a clever twist. What a clever twist in this all,
Hey, man, I'm interested to see what kind of content they produce.
So DX Vex, you're saying, bet the audio is buy my merch. You play that backwards. Maybe that's what it says, right? Anyway, let's see here. Yeah, Moppy, EC3's bodyguard. Man, who doesn't remember Moppy with Perry Satter? Such a great thing. Dave In. Imagine EC3 living in a storage unit. I think that's kind of maybe the premise here, All right. Lastly here, there was another talent that made headlines here that is now a free agent. Murphy, now using the name Buddy Matthews in his post-WWE career. He received some backlash for posting a graphic that referenced his WWE non-compete expiring. The post included a photo of someone breaking free from chains on their wrist with a caption that said, "It's here, #free agent." Buddy deleted the tweet, apologized not long after for posting it due to backlash from people on Twitter who accused Murphy of comparing his WWE run to slavery and making light of the topic. The image he used is the first one listed on Google when you search for freedom. He then posted another image using the #free agent showing birds flying out of a cage. Now, that image is the second listed when you search freedom on Google. So Buddy is also rumored to be heading to Impact, but that has not been confirmed. Hell, maybe he'll wind up in the storage unit with EC3 and Braun Strowman. Were you upset, riled by the use of slavery imagery here by Buddy Murphy for getting out of WWE?
It didn't cross my mind, but it was already deleted by the time I saw it. Look, it's clear that he used the first image on Google. He didn't think it through. And when he got called out on it, he adjusted, which is the best that we all can do. If we are coming from a place of ignorance and someone enlightens us, you say, whoops, and then move on. And then we can focus on wrestling instead of some Google image.
Yeah. By the way, our own Josh Gagnon here from WrestlingInc.com, he says he just reversed that audio from the Braun EC3 video, and it says, "Free the Titan." Josh, dude, you are the man. That is incredible.
Awesome.
Free the Titan is what Adam Schur here said, I guess, to EC3. And I say parcel tongue. And for those that don't know what that is, because you're not a gigantic nerd, that is what Voldemort speaks in. And like Harry also can do it, which is weird, but he has to be able to speak to that giant snake in the first book in order to, like, you know, get to the Horcrux. But that's a whole other conversation. So anyway, all right. Lastly, we got a couple items here before we get to the Smojo audio. Then we're going to dive in the mailbag, talk a little bit about Adam Cole. PW Insider saying NXT Babyfaces. We got some update on them. Indy Hartwell is now on the babyface side. She recently proposed to Dexter Lumis. Their wedding is going to air live on the September 14th NXT. And furthermore, Raquel Gonzalez, the NXT Women's Champion, also is a babyface, as if that were not obvious going forward. Let's just focus on Indy and Dexter here. It is interesting to me that with this In Living Color reboot of NXT, where you would think they're going to try to do some new stuff, the things that are going to be still connected to old NXT, like the Index stuff, it's just weird, man. Is it the same stuff with a new coat of paint? You know, I'm just a little confused by the direction right now.
Well, they were still using the old logo a lot, last night. So I feel like it's still kind of the old brand, and maybe this will come to an end once they make the full switch to a new theme song, a new logo, a new big man era.
and there was that report recently about Johnny Gargano being the top heel on NXT here, maybe going forward. The guy doesn't look or feel like an imposing top heel threat. And I know that last night's NXT was a pre-tape. It was a lot of wrestling. Very little storytelling. I have a feeling we're going to get that next week too. A lot of wrestling, very little storytelling. I'm wondering if the reason we got these 3 weeks of tapings, I think that they're leaving the Capitol Wrestling Center. I'm working to get more information about that. So I think we're going to see a whole new venue. I think I think we might be seeing a build out, where they're taking this 3 weeks to just kind of create a whole new atmosphere kind of for NXT. This week and next week, you're just going to kind of get more holding pattern NXT. We'll see how it does,
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to take Johnny seriously as a top heel when you see him lose to LA Knight like that. It just, I don't know. And it also doesn't make sense as the guy who kicks out of everyone's finisher all the time to take one finish after being distracted briefly by Dexter Lumis. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and Supersonic X here kind of saying how I think I feel. Johnny wrestling, nothing but a comedy heel. And Antonio Garcia, Johnny Gargano comes off as an annoying dad. I agree, man. Like, it's going to take some work to get Johnny back to being like where he was with Ciampa as like a vicious kind of imposing, I think this man could do some damage type figure. I mean, he's definitely taken a little bit of luster away in that regard.
Yeah.
So anyway, we also we're talking about some women, right? Women in NXT. Let's talk about the women in WWE. It sounds like they got a cool thing coming up here. The inaugural WWE Queen of the Ring tournament may have been revealed as WWE filed a trademark for Queen's Crown Tournament on August 27th. So maybe not calling it Queen of the Ring, the Queen's Crown Tournament, the Queen's Gambit, if you will. I think this is overdue, especially for the women to have a tournament that actually kind of means something. It does bum me out a little bit, especially since I see it's Queen's Crown. I've heard this could, the finals could happen at Crown Jewel. That part kind of makes me feel a little icky, but I am happy the women are going to get a chance. I don't know.
Yeah, I love a tournament. I know they're not Vince's favorite, but I like tournaments.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. I think Charlotte, winning a Queen's Crown tournament, becoming a real queen, kind of taking that, moniker and really blowing it up to another level would be really interesting stuff. I don't want to see another woman be crowned queen first other than Charlotte. I think that I want to see that. I want to see that out of Charlotte first before any other woman, for sure.
Yeah, man, I love watching Charlotte wrestle. So more of that, please. It always feels intense. It always feels real somehow. I love it.
I mean, Shayna Baszler is the Queen of Spades, could kind of be something interesting as well. That was another one I had in the back of my mind, is like, who else could possibly work with that moniker? I don't know.
That is one way they could kind of revive Shayna, because Shayna, man, she's had a rough year, 2 years. I mean, her, like, yeah, she was tag team champions with Nia, but she would eat the pin in every match. You know, it was like, I don't know, man. And she's so great. She was such a badass in NXT, which could be applied to almost every woman.
Well, and Nia Jax on Raw Talk this week was kind of like, they asked her, like, what's the deal with you and Shayna? And she was like, I don't know. I really don't know what's going on with that. I mean, you know, back to the beginning with angry, loud events, you know, it trickles down, and you just have so many people right now that I just feel like are just going through the motions, trying to make things work, trying to do what they can with what little they've got, and frustration, nepotism, all these things kind of, you know, boiling together. It is quite a stew they've got going over at WWE at the moment, BWO.
Quite a lot of cooks, and then an interesting executive chef.
And Dell in here saying, hey, look, Nick Hausman, are you kidding me? Charlotte has had more opportunities than any other woman in WWE history. Give the Queen of the Ring to somebody who actually deserves it, like Ember Moon. Hey, Ember is down at NXT right now. I don't think she's going to be in contention. That's just a fact of it. And look, yeah, has Charlotte had a lot of accolades? Yeah, her dad did too. And you know what? Like, there are certain people that I mean, it's part of their character. Like, some people don't need a lot of accolades to be great. You know, other people, it's just kind of part of the gimmick. And I think that a glitzy, diamond up Queen Charlotte, lots of gold, that's an imposing character. And if you use it right, you can make a lot of money with some other people and get some other people over if you so choose. So that's why I go Charlotte. Yeah.
Charlotte Flair losing a lot isn't interesting. They tried that with Ric Flair in the 90s. They booked Ric Flair to lose a bunch, and it was sad, and it didn't work. And that's the gimmick.
Yep, and that's what Sal Capaferi here saying, love or hate it, Charlotte, one of the best female talents right now. I agree with that. And, you know, look, Polio saying here, I would definitely not want to see Charlotte as Queen of the Ring, and that's totally fine. Just opinions here, you know? Everybody can have an opinion. It's just fun wrestling booking. All right.
I mean, Charlotte can lose some. And when Charlotte loses, it's important. Right. But, you know, this is a person that you put belts on.
You gotta treat him like a champ. All right. Yeah. Lastly here, before we get to Samoa Joe, and then we'll dive in the mailbag, talk about Adam Cole and AEW. AEW star. Wow, that is weird to say. AEW star CM Punk. That's still, I think that's the first time I've said those 4 words in a row. So AEW star CM Punk has officially retired from MMA. This was from MMAfight.com or MMA. I didn't write down that. I'm sorry. I should have done this better. There's an MMA outlet. It's on WrestlingInc.com that confirmed this. Pretty sure. Anyway, go check it out. Well, anyway, the report noted that Punk recently notified UFC of decision so that he could be removed from UFC's anti-doping program. He was tested 6 times in 2020. Following Punk's loss to Jackson, UFC president Dana White indicated that the Chicago native would likely never return to UFC unless he could pick up some victory in smaller MMA promotions, which Punk, spoiler alert, never decided to pursue. So Punk will officially retire from MMA with an 0-1-0 with 1 no contest. So he lost his debut to Mickey Gall. He then lost by unanimous decision to Mike Jackson at UFC 225, but that loss was later overturned to a no contest due to Jackson testing positive for marijuana. So not really much of a, doesn't make you feel much better there that loss got overturned. It was what it was. It's a chapter in the book. Hopefully we're moving past this. CM Punk tried very hard. Much respect. It takes a lot to go in there and get punched in the face real hard. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's crazy that he even did it, and I don't know. I think that it kind of fuels Punk's straight edge gimmick. He's got the 1 loss taken away due to weed.
All right. Well, hey, Brian, I want to thank you so much for joining me at the top show, talking all the news today. Thank you to everybody who jumped in today in the chat room. What a lively discussion we've had here, and we're not done yet, so stick around. Today's poll question comes to us from @Wink Daily, WINC Daily over on Twitter. We're at 1,223 followers. We're on our road. We're on the road to 1,300 followers. Go follow the account. You can vote in the daily polls. And really, 1,300 is my favorite number. And that could be you. And then we'll share that cosmic bond till the end of time as we do this dance in the celestial unknown. So, wow, it's deep. Maybe did too much last night. I don't know. Smoking, drinking, something like that. Okay. So, today's poll question stemmed from a tweet that Britt Baker put out tagging us, Wrestling Inc. She tagged us in this tweet.
Very funny.
She gave an update on Adam Cole's dental health. She said, I can confirm that Adam Cole has no cavities. There was a little video, flashed the gums here. Let me see if we already showed one video here today. Why not? We can get away with this. Britt Baker. Nope. Oh, I did the wrong thing here. This already got too complicated. I'm ruining this. Britt Baker. Okay. And I'll scroll down. Yep. And we'll go back.
With my
Oh, here we go. Nope. There we go. All right. Share the stream. Oh, this is so good. I'm going to take away the bottom. We'll enlarge the video. All right. Here we go.
With my favorite patient today.
Super fresh and clean.
Oh.
There it is. That's the whole video. That was well worth everybody's time as I set that up. That was well worth everybody's time as I set that up. So that was a nice update there. Nice of Britt to tag us over on I
think it's a great reminder to all wrestling fans to brush your teeth after every meal, twice a day at the least, and don't forget to floss.
Yeah. So look, it's Mike O, cutest couple in wrestling. So, yeah, David, Adam Cole went to the dentist without dental insurance unless he's already signed to AEW. Hoo-yah! Right? Sure, he got it for free on the house. So, Britt decided to bring up Adam Cole. Obviously, some kind of an allusion to what he's going to do next. So I decided to make the poll question today about Adam Cole, because let's get into it. If Adam Cole signs with AEW, who would you all like to see him feud with and wrestle first? Well, obviously, there is interest in this. We had over 800 votes here in just about an hour. 35.4% say Kenny Omega. 32.9% say MJF. 22.2% say CM Punk. And then 9.5% for other write-in opponents. So let's say Adam Cole lands in AEW. What do you want to see him do first here, B-Will?
Oh, gosh. I feel like Punk, Jericho, Bryan Danielson, he could feud. I feel like Cole's going to come in and be cheered. So I feel like he could feud with a more established talent that he feels he should beat. And then perhaps he loses his first match and then turns more dastardly and then puts the guy out of action at the next pay-per-view and then takes a heel run, maybe joining his elite buddies or whatever. But I feel like AEW could use another heel, and Adam Cole could really fit the bill, but people are going to cheer when he shows up.
Yeah, and I do wonder, because All Out, hypothetically, I think Lana by Miro's side, what do you give that? Over-under on Lana by Miro's side at All Out.
I don't see it. I don't think it'll happen. I don't think Miro needs her. I think she's good on Surreal Life. Okay.
Ruby Soho, All Out, over-under.
Oh, God. I think she's got to be shown up, so it's got to be 2-1, 50-50.
Right. I think better than 50-50 that she's the Joker in that Casino Battle Royale. I'm going to give it 85%. I was born in 1985. We'll give it the 85. We'll 85. Over-under on Daniel Bryan, All Out. That seems like a given right now, the way the reporting's been going.
Yeah, that would be 1985, since I was also born in 85. An 85% chance.
the old 85s here today, ladies and gentlemen. And Adam Cole, right? So Ruby Soho, Daniel Bryan, Adam Cole. All he's free. He could do it. He could be on Dynamite tonight for all we know.
Man, that would be so fun. What was it? Ross Berman tweeted that AEW should just only be debuts. That should be the entire program.
Hey, maybe on Dynamite tonight, EC3 frees the Titan and we just get weird with it, right?
I don't know. I enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, it's a lot to take in and think about. And if you're a Sonny Kiss or a Serpentico, and you're watching all these big names coming in, and as things come down, things get slotted down. You know, I know Tony Khan has said, you know, I've done a great job of not having to release anybody through this pandemic, but the names they is a piling up over at AEW right now. You know, I am still attached. I want it, but Pete Dunne is still like solidly, because he was on NXT right last night, wasn't he? We cut the promo with Rich Holland and everything.
Yeah.
I know I had read his contract's coming up, but he might resign. And I know Triple H and Shawn like love Pete. I mean, they loved Adam, but they like really love Pete. So he might stay. I don't know, like an Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan together, right? Like I it worked so well in WCW with the NWO. We haven't really seen somebody or entities come in and say, so you guys tried to put us out of work, right? So this is the place where you all wanted to see me lose my livelihood, right? We haven't really seen that. We haven't seen a WWE guy make that leap and make that case over in an AEW. And I'm not really like, I'm not advocating that Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole come in as like some kind of outsiders duo necessarily. I thought that Adam Cole and Pete Dunne as a duo would be really good in that role, just because like it's two NXT guys jumping over to AEW. That's just something to think about. We haven't seen that yet, and we haven't seen a character that can really make that case. You know, having been weathered through the Wednesday Night War, what it was, Adam Cole could make that case. I think people would be really, really into that.
Yeah, he would be awesome. I mean, he was the flag bearer for NXT for years, so that would totally work. And he's awesome on the mic. He's awesome in the ring. You could see him with anybody. What about Adam Cole, Darby Allin, Adam Cole, Andrade, Adam Cole, Cody, Christian Cage, Pac? There's so many great matches.
Yeah, there are. I mean,
Phoenix.
Pac would be really intriguing as a first one. The Death Triangle. At least he's a heel. You know, I like MJF a lot. You know, I think Kenny Omega would be compelling with all the elite stuff. You know. So anyway, a couple write-ins here on Twitter, then I'll read a couple write-ins here from the comments section on the live feed. At Brandon B721990, I think Cole will somehow get into the cage match at All Out in all black, help the Young Bucks win. Then he reveals that he is elite, but will slowly break it up from the inside to later feud with Omega.
Ooh.
That is a like and a retweet there, Brandon. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's not terrible. It's a well thought idea.
Ooh, what about Adam Page?
Oh,
that would be kind of fun.
I have kind of wondered if like Christian Cage gets like injured or something day of the show, and the whole world title match gets thrown into a tizzy, and at the last second, we all get what we want. 3 years to the day, Adam Page comes back after losing to Chris Jericho for the title initially at All Out. Here he is winning the title over Kenny Omega at All Out. You know, they've gone so far with the Christian stuff already. I don't know that they would do it, but I think that would be really, really satisfying for the fans that were in attendance.
Oh, are you kidding? Everybody wants to cheer Adam Page so hard. Everybody loves that character. We are so deeply invested in Hangman, and we want him to succeed finally.
Charles C. Dowd, Daniel Bryanson, of course. You wrote that you loved that response. Multiple levers. Rocky Baya, Britt Baker, not going to work. Buscat, Jungle Boy, Janela, Bryan Danielson, Aqua Bear, Orange Cassidy, New Kid on the Block versus Cool Kid on the Block. I want it. A couple of baby faces. I don't see Adam. I mean, we'll see what they do with Adam when he comes in. At Sesminza 81, MJF needs a cleansing after the Jericho clog. Adam Cole is the remedy. I am interested to see what they do with MJF post Chris Jericho. I don't know why they would have Jericho beat MJF at All Out. Like, they've gone so far with MJF now. Why go back on all of it now? Right? With Jericho beating this guy. That would make zero sense to me.
Yeah, the Labors of Jericho, I loved at the beginning. The Juventud match, awesome. But I feel like it kind of has lost its steam. We'll see what happens tonight. We got an interview with JR and Tony Schiavone, I think, with each of them. So,
hey, at Real Dan Page, we all know it's going to be Cody. It always is. Yikes. Yeah, there's a pretty good chance of that. At City Messiah, Christian Cage, get that rub first before moving on to Omega. That's not bad. I don't hate that. Miro from Outlaw Jamboree, one of my favorite Twitter handles. Someone agreed with your Pac. That was PrimRav11. Let's see here. Over in the write-in section here for the live feed, let's say Headlock heel, Cole debuts, and he gets interrupted 10 times with other debuts, right? Adam Daniel Bryan and Ruby Soho, and we freed the Titan. He's loose from Storage Wars. Let's see here. JJ Smith, Brian Danielson leading 2.0, and Daniel Garcia, I guess, up against Adam Cole. Bebe, says Sean. Let's see here. We have Polio Del Mar. I'd love to see Cole go somewhere. He'll get a truly focal spot, though. I do wonder if he winds up in Ring of Honor. I know it's like a way different time right now, and they're not running, but he's got Taven there and Bennett, and you could reform the Kingdom, and Marty Scurll was supposed to be that linchpin for Ring of Honor to help them be able to do business with AEW and kind of play in those forbidden door waters. Adam Cole could very easily do the same thing, but you got to, I know that there were plans for ROH to be live on TV by this time right now, had the pandemic not happened. If you could get an Adam Cole and you're going to do that, you better be ready to be on TV live within 2 months. Because if not, it'd be a horrible waste to just have him there. But I've thought about it, like a lot of people have thought about it,
Yeah, I feel like Adam Cole is such a great wrestler. He will make himself known on whatever program he ends up on, wherever he shows up at whatever spot on the card. Dude's gonna get over. So I don't know. I just believe that he can do it.
Waskar Esquia, Adam Cole versus Adam Page. Winner gets to keep the Adam name. Yeah, that worked out really well at WCW, right? Remember fighting over the letter P, right? And Polio here will close with, no, he's definitely going to AEW, but I just want him to go where he walks in as a world title contender immediately. And, that's just not how it works. I'm sorry, Paul. It doesn't work like that in AEW. You have to earn. You have to win matches. Christian Cage had to beat the Blade to get his world title shot. He really had to work and beat some people to win that title opportunity. You don't just give in title opportunities in AEW. That's not how it works, Paul.
Hey, man, the Blade is more jacked and tan than he's ever been.
Goddamn right. Goddamn right, Brian. All right, hey, that brings us to the end of the show here today. Brian, you were wonderful as always. On the chat room, people, you were great. I'll be, by the way, tonight at the Now Arena for Dynamite. If you see me there, come say hi. I'll be at Rampage on Friday. I'll be at All Out on Sunday. By the way, I also got the email yesterday about All Out. There will be, it looks like, knock on wood, in-person media scrums after All Out. So definitely Tony, maybe Punk, maybe Daniel Bryan, maybe Ruby Soho, maybe a hologram Luthez, right? We don't know. Everybody's under the circuit tent now, and we're going to get to talk to them all after the show, and we will hopefully, knocking on wood again, be able to live stream those media scrums to you, so you can watch them on all of Wrestling Inc.'s social media channels. Wouldn't that be great? And speaking of scrums, we have a media call tomorrow. Tony Khan chatting with the press. I'll be on that call as well. So as soon as we get the audio from that call, we're going to attach it to the daily and release it on the podcast feed. So we will go live here as normal tomorrow. Me, Paul Pratt, or Polio, depending on if Paul has a show to do early on or a booking or whatever. We'll see who shows up, Cactus Jack or Dude Love. But Tony Khan tomorrow, I'll be on the call with Tony. Other press will be on the call. We'll have that on the show for you. Also, the Wrestling Inc. Daily is, of course, brought to you by WrestlingInc.com. Find us on all the socials and tune in live here after the big shows for the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Different faces, different punditry, but you can subscribe to the Wrestling Inc. podcast on your preferred podcast platform, just like the Daily. And by the way, we have our first sponsor, So in between the segments here, you may start to hear me do an ad read for our very good friends over at Drizzly. And I want to thank Drizzly for coming on board. This is wonderful that we have reached sponsorship levels that, like I've been telling you guys here, the viewership and listenership is growing for the Daily. We are on a train ride that is going quite quickly right now. So thank you all for the support. And if you want to support us even further, go use the promo code Spice number 5. Get $5 off your first order from Drizzly. They'll bring booze right to your front door. If you want some alcohol, and you don't want to leave your home because the pandemic and you're terrified and you're wearing tissue boxes on your feet, use Drizzly. Have them bring you, a little whiskey, a little beer, whatever's going to help you take the edge off if that's your thing, right? So anyway, Brian, what do you want to put over here before we wrap up the show today?
Check out my podcast, My Favorite Friendship, tomorrow. We have a new episode dropping featuring Amy Vorpal, who you've seen on Saving Throw, Nerdist, and all sorts of other Dungeons and Dragons shows, and Critical Role as well. And she's going to be talking about making friends through D&D.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
D&D is a great thing to do. Grab your 20-sided die and tune in, support Brian. I am at Nick_Hausman over on Twitter. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I will talk to you tomorrow. And remember, if you winked, you didn't miss it.